What is up, Jags fans? Man, what a time to be alive. We are in the middle of training camp, and we have some football coming up on Friday. I'm going to tease this a little bit for you guys. Tomorrow night, I have a very special guest coming on the channel. Okay, I'm not going to spoil it right now. Maybe as we get on to the show, and maybe as the refills come with, maybe we spoil it. But for right now, we're going to tease it. Before we get into the training camp update, which I have some clips loaded up, and to be completely fair, the clips are taken from Jaguars.com. So there's a chance we visit YouTube jail tonight. But hey, it's not a Jaguars United live show. If there's not a chance that YouTube jail, the gulag that is YouTube jail, we get to. So we're going to get there. Before we get to all that, I have to plug the social media. YouTube, subscribe, okay? That way you get notifications. Like, you're going to want to get a notification for our show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. That's all I'm going to say right now, but you're going to want to get a notification for that. And then there's so that's all I'm going to say. Follow the Twitter, the Instagram. I've been trying to be better about Instagram. Like, when I start going to the games, like this Friday, the Instagram is going to be popping off. So make sure that you are subscribed to the Instagram so you get notifications. If you're going to the game this Friday, make sure to hit me up on Twitter, because I would love to catch up with some of you guys in the Bud Zone or the Sky Patio. Grab a drink or something. I'd love that. I'd love that. So hit me up on Twitter. You can either just tweet me or DM me, whatever you want to do. Should be a good time. The chat is popping off tonight. And you know why? It's because we spent a little bit of time making sure that the members got a little bit more, okay? The channel members got some emojis to mess with. We got a little bit of things to go with pretty soon. I mean, I'm thinking in the future, like when the season starts, week 1, I anticipate having member-only chats, okay? So you got some time to save some pennies, to mow some lawns, to become a member, because once the season starts, not every show, but every once in a while, we're just going to make it member-only chats. And that's just to be honest with you guys, to encourage people to become members, okay? I've always been honest with you guys. I'm not going to start lying today, okay? To encourage people to become members, we're just going to maybe 15, 20 minutes, member-only chats. It is what it is, okay? We got some good film loaded up today, and by film, I mean clips of interviews, so you may have already seen them. But I still think there's a lot to discuss when it comes to that, okay? I always have to shout out the first person in the chat, because this is a fan show for fans by fans. I'm a fan. I'm not a media member. I haven't been to a single training camp. There's people in the chat who have more credentials than me. Shay, looking at you. So I have to give credit to the people that are here, the members. Nolly Full Cab, first one in the member chat, first one in the chat. He spams the Bortles emojis like that. A Sharpshooter, always in quick, says, let's go. Goater Pod says, what's up? Not much, Goater. This week's kind of busy for me at work, but I was so over. If you guys didn't see the live show, I think 2 live shows ago, at the end of the show, an hour and 20 in, we had just this avalanche, no pun intended, Stanley Cup champions. We had this avalanche of channel members and super chats. So, that really humbled me, and I was like, you know what, I need to put forth more effort. And by more effort, I mean it's when I'm tired. And so I'm tired, Goater Prod, but I'm here anyways because I'm excited about the Jags. Shay J says, let's go, Jason. Shay, I expect Shay to be sliding me some cryptic text here when the season comes up. Shay, I'm looking at you. Nolly Fullcap says, new emotes, let's go. Gerald says, hey folks. Israel Otero says, how much do the starters play on Friday? We're going to get there, Israel. We're going to get there. C. Breacher, who finally makes a live chat. He figured out how to do the notifications. Says, Duval. Matthew McCrae says, yo, what's up? Not much, Matthew. What's up with you? Let me know. Ant says, what's up, bros? Do you think T-Law might play a little on Friday? You know what? What a great transition to our first clip on, is Trevor Lawrence going to be playing on Friday? And I'm just using this channel here, or this clip here, because
yeah, I mean, there's no doubt.
Let me know if you can't hear it.
Great work in during the week. I mean, that's why we practice, and especially the way our defense is. Just do a lot of different things. I think it's great as a quarterback getting to go against that every day. Makes you think, makes you really communicate with each other on offense. So that's been great for us all camp. And then, yeah, of course, you want to play, but you also realize what the coaches are doing, and it's a long season. Being a part of it last year, 17 games plus hopefully playoffs, all that. It's a long season, so it's a marathon, and don't want to get too far ahead of yourselves. But whenever what time is, I'll be ready to roll and get out there and whatever that is. This week, next week, however much I play, don't know yet. Just being as efficient as possible when it is out there, live reps. Doesn't change anything except for that I can get hit, but still you play the same way. And then we'll be ready to roll.
It looked like Zay Jones stood out today. He had a couple of good catches, including.
All right, so you could see there, like, obviously he's defaulting to Doug Peterson, which is good. Like, you want that. You want your quarterback, like, defaulting to what the coach says. So it definitely is interesting. If I had to guess, I would say Trevor ends up playing probably 12 to 18 plays. I know that's a very specific number, but I can't see, like, and listen, I was thinking about it all day today, and you guys let me know what you think in the chat, because I mean that's the question. We can ask whatever question about ETN, Travon Walker, Josh Allen, all that's important. But honestly, C Breacher donated $1.99 through the super chat. C Breacher, bro, thank you so much. C Breacher's been a fan of the channel for a long time. C Breacher, I really do appreciate that. Thank you. It all goes back into the channel. Maybe this video is more HD than usual. My brother, who is basically the financer of this entire YouTube channel. Okay, you might be thinking like, oh man, Jason does a good job with, like, all his production and like all of that. None of that is me. I'm fortunate and blessed to have a brother who works in marketing, a very big online marketing company, and he sends me stuff. He's like, this is what you want. This is what you want to do. He sends me stuff. So if my camera looks a little more HD than it did in the previous shows, the reason is why. He came over to my house and he says, hey, something's wrong with your camera. I said, I don't think so. And he went into my settings and he's like, it was literally one click. And so hopefully it's in 4K HD. I don't know. Maybe it's you guys let me know. Anyways, the question is, how much is Trevor going to play? I could care less about anyone else. I mean, think about it. Rank all of the people on the depth chart from most important to least important, and Trevor is number one. Hands down, Trevor is number one. So, like, how much he plays is important. I've heard people say they'd be fine with him not playing at all, and I'd be fine with people saying, like, they want to see him play for a whole half. I get that. I think given the way Doug Peterson played, like Travon Walker and these other guys last week, I think you're going to see him at 12 to 18 plays. I think 20 is too much. I think 10 is too little. I think you're going to see 2 drives. Now, if they go 3 and out, I still think you don't see Trevor anymore because he's too valuable. He's too valuable. I don't think you see him play. So that's what it is. I'm going to try to hit some of these comments. The comments are popping off tonight, which I appreciate. So I always say this every week, every show. If you have a good comment, type it again. If I miss it, like, I try to get all of them. Like, I really do. Like, I want all of the Jags fans' comments to be heard. I started this channel because there's a huge vacancy for Jags fans in the media. So I wanted to do something where Jags fans. I always felt like my voice. I always felt like me as a Jags fan was like no one cared what I thought. So I was like, I want to set up a platform where Jags fans are heard, and that's what this is. So if you got something good, freaking type it again if I miss it. I'm going to try to hit some of them here. We have, oh man, I'm way behind. Shay J, I'm saying he doesn't play. Okay, so Shay says he doesn't play. I'm letting you guys know right now. I trust Shay more than any of you commenters as far as it's. I know this is from his gut. He doesn't have any info on this, but if Shay says it, I'm probably going to go with that. Robert Atzert, our 3rd and 4th string quarterbacks are questionable. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I have some clips lined up here from the press conferences today. But the quarterbacks that we're going to see from Cleveland, I mean, first of all, the price of admission, like, get a ticket to this game. Like, are you serious? Like, you may see Deshaun Watson? Like, what? You're going to see Deshaun? Like, no one's going to see Deshaun Watson. If he gets this, if the NFL appealed his suspension, so if he gets suspended for the year, no one's going to see him this year. We have the chance of being one of the only teams that sees him, because if this appeal comes down and he gets a full year, we may be the only people that see him. So buy a ticket if you live in Jacksonville, go to the game. Their backup quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, has been a little bit injured. He might play a little bit. And then you have former Jags great Josh Dobbs. Okay, not only is Josh Dobbs the smartest player that's ever played football. I mean, I know Myron Roll fans may have an argument there. But not only is Josh Dobbs one of the smartest players ever, he's number 1 in Madden for trucking. Like, did you ever get the inclination that Josh Dobbs was one of the best trucking like trucking, like running through defenders, quarterbacks in the league. If you did, then you know more than me, because I never thought that for 1 second. Tallahassee, who's a good commenter, says, when are we gonna get this kicker situation figured out? We're gonna be haunted by this kicker situation all year. We're gonna lose games because of our kicker, and we just have to accept that now. I say this with like delicacy. Bad teams lose games because of kickers. I think we're still categorized as a bad team. Just this year, I think we'll make big improvements, but one of the things that bad teams lose is from kicking or turnovers or penalties. Like, that's what bad teams lose. Good teams don't lose that way. I hate to say it. I think kicker may be a downfall. We got to get it figured out. Draft one next year. And I don't know what to say. Jeremy Ingle says, how we feel about the Trayvon roughing the passer penalty. It was a terrible call, but I get it because it was preseason. In preseason, they always overcall everything. Remember when the helmet-to-helmet unnecessary roughness like came down from the NFLPA? They called it. The preseason was horrible. Like any tackle, they called it. And then when the regular season came, they chilled out a little bit. I think that's just what they do in the preseason. They're trying to teach it. They're trying to, condition the players to aim low. I mean, that's the only thing I can say about that. But you're right. Horrible, horrible call. Moon Illusions. I'm surprised by all the Zay Jones praise from the beat reporters. Apparently, he's been catching everything. Oh, I mean, these transitions are just, I couldn't ask for him better. Let's get to this Zay Jones clip here. Okay, here we go.
Greg Jr., we're kind of just big.
Turn this up for y'all.
Just how has he been, and what have you seen from him?
This is on Zay Jones.
He's been great. I think when you get new receivers especially, it takes a while to kind of figure out where everyone fits in, what people are good at, because we got a lot of great players, but they're all different. They all do different things well. So, and that's great for us. So it's just kind of figuring that out, putting guys in the best spot, moving them around, seeing how they do this versus that, and moving them all over the place with our concepts. And working from there, and I really feel like we're in a good spot where we're starting to figure out who we want on certain routes and the matchups and all that. And Zay had a great day. He's a really smart player. Just gets open really well, uses his length. He's got speed, all that. I mean, I think he's a great player, and it's been fun building that connection with him.
So one thing you're going to see about Trevor Lawrence and like commenting on teammates, he kind of goes out of his way to mention if someone's smart, okay? And I like this because I think Trevor's very smart. You have a guy like Foyesade Lucan, who went to Yale. You got a guy like Luke Fortner, who is a engineer at Kentucky. I mean, you have a lot of smart guys. Muma, Muma's either an engineer or Fortner's an engineer. One of them's an engineer, and one of them's an exercise science major. I don't know, but like I like that they're smart guys and they're bringing in smart guys. So Trevor goes out of his way to call people smart. I love smart football players. I think if you look at who these like generational coaches tend to go after, it's smart football players. Like, yeah, you want the athlete that's just a freak and can just do things that other people can't. But what I've noticed is these smart players, like Zay Jones, they survive longer in the NFL because like they know how to take care of their bodies. They know how to do these sort of things. So it's like I like when I wasn't big on Zay Jones, but after hearing this interview and hearing him talk about Zay Jones, like that's something that like I'm kind of looking forward to seeing is like maybe he's better. I know everyone in the chat's gonna be like, bro, we tried to tell you that Zay Jones was better. I get that. Okay, listen, I admit when I'm wrong. I wasn't big on Zay Jones, and I might have been wrong. We'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, the verdict's still out. But if Trevor thinks he's smart and he's popping off in camp, if we can see something out of him this week against Cleveland, like, maybe we're on to something there with Zay Jones. I mean, I don't know. 21 Baltus in the and again, I'm way behind on the comments, guys. I apologize. Says, it looked to me that the Jags were not conditioned as well as the Raiders. No gap discipline ever. Okay, so I do want to show a clip because Mike Caldwell was asked about why they could their gap discipline. And Mike Caldwell was probably one of the most boring press conferences I've ever seen. I mean, the guy obviously is in his first year. He's very vanilla. He's not going to give you any information. I get it. Like I'm not blaming him, but I'm just saying like the clip I'm going to show you isn't going to be exactly like super entertaining. But that's okay because the question fits it. So for me to answer your question, I don't know if it's that we were out of shape or unconditioned. I just think the Raiders are a really good team. Like, I think listen, I talked about it on a couple shows ago. Like, I think the Raiders are like one of the most slept on teams in the NFL. Like, I really expect the Raiders to do better than a lot of teams. I like Derek Carr. I really do. I like Josh Jacobs. I mean, listen, look at their pieces that they have around them. Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs. You're looking at Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. Like, they're deep. I mean, their offense is good compared to Cleveland, right? Like, Cleveland's thought of this team that has like a great offense, but I mean, you get past Deshaun Watson and you're at Nick Chubb. Okay, he's good. Amari Cooper, yeah. But then after that, you have nothing. David Njoku's like really inconsistent. I mean, the receivers after Devontae Adams, like, stop me when you've heard of one of these people before, okay? We've heard of Donovan Peoples-Jones, but he's not that good. Okay, now stop me if you heard. Okay, Anthony Schwartz, David Bell, Jakeem Grant Sr., Michael Woods II, Jamarcus Bradley, Demetric Felton, Derek Dillon, Jerome Ford, Terrell Harris, Dalen Balt. Okay, Amari Cooper on the outside, and then your 2 is Donovan Peoples-Jones. Like, I know David Njoku's thought to be good. I know Nick Chubb's good, but I'm taking the Raiders' skill positions 10 times out of 10 over that group. 100%. So I'm just saying a little overrated. Good question, though. Gap integrity wasn't good. Let me find the clip here real quick. I can look at my notes because when you're a guy like me, I was going to say you get notes ready, but it's very rare. Let me see where it is here. Linebacker play, level of physicality, quality of pass rushers. Okay. Linebacker play. Here we go. Y'all ready? It's going to be quick, so be ready.
Really no update yet. He's working. You see him out here moving around. We'll let that situation take care of itself. But as far as the linebackers, you know, you're going into a game, unscouted team, a different look. There was a bunch of positives and a lot of things we can learn from and work on. So that group, they just continue to build, continue to work, and we're happy so far.
I mean, again, said nothing. Like, he was asked, like what's the deal with, like, the gap integrity? Like, why couldn't you stop the run? His response was, like, we didn't really have a chance to scout them, and it's something we're going to work on. I mean, that's as generic as you can get for an answer, but that's what Mike Caldwell said. In my opinion, I think it was just we didn't have our horses out there, and it showed. It really did. And we're not as deep. We're not as deep as the Raiders are. I mean, again, like I said, the Raiders are a good team. Like, would it surprise anybody if the Raiders were in the AFC Championship game? Like, it probably wouldn't. And we look back and we're like, oh, man, we overanalyzed a game in preseason where we lost to the, an AFC contender. I think that's what will happen, okay? Tuggernut says, yo, how's it going, Jags United? It's going good, man. I got some allergies issues here. I've been trying to figure out what to do. I took allergy meds, not working. But I've been using like saline nose spray, and that's been helping a lot. So hopefully that works out. My cat, once my cat started growing hair and shedding, my allergies went through the roof. But that's how it's going. Tuggernut goes on to say, I'm here and listening, but in the middle of workout, so I won't be active in the chat, but go Jags. Tuggernut, dude, I hope you're getting a good workout in. And I know these live shows just devolve. So if you're new here, and I'm sorry, I'm glad you're working out. I had a great workout today. I did lower body pull. So I'll just be quick. I did power cleans, deadlifts. Then I did some calf raises. I did a set of abs, some sort of like ab crunches. And then I did hamstring curls and another ab workout. So I feel you. Hopefully you're motivated to work out. Get it going. Get some good vibes going. Let me scroll down here. 21 Baltus. It looked to me that the Jags were not conditioned as well as the Raiders. Okay, I read that one. What are the chances? I randomly picked him. Robert Adsert is one of my favorite commenters. Fortner is really good. Is really doing really good for a rookie. I agree. I like Fortner. I think he's going to be one of our best players. Shout out from the coast of Spain, bro, says Magic Fan Ben. Going to be depending on your coverage until November. Oh, Magic Fan Ben, I appreciate that. One of the things that kind of definitely surprised me was how many international people like watched our channel. We have a huge following in England. one of my favorite commenters and favorite people, Patrick Jackson, lives in England. Can't watch the show till the morning. I feel bad, but that dude knows his football. He has his own podcast. I mean, they kill it. I mean, it's a bunch of 4 British guys you can barely understand, and they're just the funniest guys ever. I make sure to listen to all their podcasts. I haven't heard a guy in a while. It's Patrick, so let's put one out here. Us and Them says, I heard Cottrell got hurt. I don't think Cottrell's a guy that makes the team. And I know like people were looking at him as like a tweener. Like maybe he could be the 4th running back. Maybe. But at that spot, you see a lot of bouncing back and forth between the practice squad and the active roster. And he may be good enough to be, sniped by a team onto their roster. Now you do have to keep when you pick someone off someone else's practice squad, they have to be on your active roster for like 3 weeks. So we'll see with Nate Cottrell. I know he adds special teams value, but I do like him. Brandon Waters says, any idea why they cut Cottrell like that? Harsh move after his performance. Okay, so they cut him. So I'm out of touch. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why he got hurt. Brenneman says got hurt. Sucks, but that's just how it goes. Yeah, it does. Okay, so he's not on the team anymore. So just forget everything I said. Jesus is king. Jesus King is awesome. Jesus King supports the channel, financially. So I owe a lot of humbleness to Jesus is King. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. He says, I'm here. Did I miss anything? Not really. I've been kind of ranting, and I apologize because I have clips loaded up. That being said, let's play some clips, guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to rant. I get a little carried away. Let's see here. What's a good Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence was better. Let's have this is Trevor Lawrence on Andre Cisco's aggressiveness. Okay, let's do this.
Anticipation.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing great. He's a guy, you look at safeties, the guy that's willing to take some calculated risk, but he's usually right. I haven't seen him be wrong many times. Like, he's had a couple plays. I don't want to go into all the details because it might be something they're doing schematically on defense, but he's had a couple plays where he just comes out of nowhere, and you're like, I mean, how can I even see this guy on this route? I'm looking the opposite direction, So he's had, and you need plays like that from a safety, to step up. He's really physical. I mean, he's one of the best open field tacklers I've seen. Yesterday when we went live, he's all over the place, not letting anybody get by him. So that's great to see, and I think he's had a great offseason in camp.
So Andre Cisco was a guy that I admittedly had some reluctantness toward, and not because I just maybe because I am a skeptic. Maybe I am, especially in the secondary. I'm a skeptic when it comes to the secondary, but Cisco's a guy that you guys were right about. Okay, fans were clamoring to see Andre Cisco last year and this year, and I tend to side with the coaches. It's one of my faults, I'll admit it. I tend to side with the coaches. The coaches are there every day. They're at film session. If the coach says the guy's not ready, typically I agree with them. Not agree, but I'll take the wait and see approach. But with Andre Cisco, it's clear cut. You guys were right. He should have been playing since week 1 last year. He's far better than any safety we have on the team right now. Now, if you watch our last video, I did a breakdown of the Jags Raiders game. Go back and watch it because I actually found some good clips of the Jags that I think would be encouraging and optimistic for the season. But one player who really stood out was Dewey Wingard. I mean, on 14 snaps, I mean, he had a handful of those were pretty good. Now, I know the level of talent. But when it comes to safety position, I have been hard on it. I'm not big on Dewey. I'm not big on Rayshon Jenkins. I had the wait and see approach for Andre Cisco. Daniel Thomas gives you something, but not as a starter. So I was, admittedly, I was a little tough on the safety position, and Andre Cisco is kind of checking the boxes. So I'm excited to see what he can do as he gets more playing time and as he kind of develops, because defensive back is another position where it takes some time. I always talk about offensive line and quarterback being some of those positions that has the longer developmental time, but defensive back's up there too. I mean, it happens all the time. So I'm excited to see what happens with Andre Cisco. I think that he actually will provide some value. Let's go to another clip here because I think they asked Mike Caldwell about him too. Yeah, here's Mike Caldwell on Andre Cisco.
Oh, it really does. You look in the game, we had a run that popped out, and he was able to get a guy down, nice tackle. So you just see that over and over. But the main thing from him is, like you talked about, him being able to impact the game by his range in the secondary, He can cover sideline to sideline, and he's a big plus for us back there.
I mean, anytime your defensive coordinator talks about your range, that's a good sign because as someone who you guys know, defensive back is my favorite position to analyze. As a former defensive back, as a former defensive backs coach, I love breaking down defensive back film, and the best thing you can say about a defensive back is that he's rangy. It is. So for Mike Caldwell to say that he can play sideline to sideline, like that's not something I would actually put on Andre Cisco. Like if you asked me on Andre Cisco's strengths, I would say in the box, around the line of scrimmage, laying the wood on a tight end or crossing, slot receiver or setting the edge on a run. But to play sideline to sideline, like now we're looking at maybe a complete player. So we'll see. I mean, now I went from like maybe as like a 5 excited on Andre Cisco to like now I'm up to like a 7 or 8. So I'm excited on Andre Cisco. So Brandon Waters says a Cisco season. Here's the thing though, bro. If I have an Andre Cisco film breakdown, if you like scroll down on my YouTube channels on the film breakdowns, I broke down Andre Cisco's Syracuse film. I like Andre Cisco. He was out of IMG, went up to Syracuse. They were heavily recruiting him. It was just weird because like he had a crap ton of turnovers at Syracuse, but all of them were like on tipped balls. It was like super strange. Like he was really good at anticipating like a receiver not catching the ball. It's super weird. And like you always gotta be reluctant when you see a guy like get a bunch of tipped interceptions. So I guess that's maybe where some of my reluctancy comes from. It's just like he wasn't like, jumping routes. He wasn't jumping a slant or an out. He was like catching a tipped ball from a defensive lineman or a DB or a linebacker. And it was like, okay, I mean, something's to be said for the amount of interceptions he had, and he had pick sixes, but it was just like, I don't know. It was weird. It gave me some reservations, but I think I'm on board. I'm on board now. Matthew McCray says thoughts on Jeff Cotton and Snoop Connor. So everyone's asking about Jeff Cotton. I don't see much. I mean, last year in preseason and training camp, he was good, but I think there's no place on this roster for Jeff Cotton. Not saying he's bad, but with the additions of Zay Jones and Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram, who's not a receiver, but he's a pass catcher, when you add those guys in, like adding those two guys, I mean, Jeff Cotton was a bubble guy last year, and we added 2 receivers and essentially only lost one in DJ Chark. So, the numbers game doesn't look good for Jeff Cotton. Not saying he's not good. I'm just saying, like, you guys know what I'm saying. DJM says, Jason's hot. DJM, bro, I'm so glad you're here. Philip Butcher, how about Chazon showing up so far? Long overdue, but great to see. Don't get me started on Kalavon, bro. Go back and watch my video. I was hyped on Kalavon Chazon. In fact, Mike Caldwell was asked about Kalavon. And let's play it for you guys right here. This is Clavon and Smoot, actually, not just Clavon.
Where they are right now.
Really, both those guys are, again, pieces that you can use in a pass rush game. And just like everyone else, they're getting better day by day, learning what we're working with other guys along that line, different matchups, different groups working together. So it's still a work in progress, but we're continuing to get the reps and getting better.
So, like, he wasn't, like, super pumped. I mean, and this is how his whole interview was. It wasn't like, but the fact that he said it's still a work in progress, I think he was kind of alluding to the fact that he was also surprised. And look, I talked about it on the last video. The Arden Key Kalavon Chazon combo was nutty. Like, anytime those guys were both on the edge, didn't matter who the D tackles were. I mean, there were guys Israel Antar. I don't know. I mean, guys, I can't remember their names, and they were just like weren't that impressive at the interior defensive line, but they were getting pressure. Now it was 3rd down and long, so I talked about how like I could see a NASCAR package or a Lightning package where you have guys like Josh Allen, Clavon Chazon, Trevon Walker, DeJuan Smoot. An Arden Key all on your D line at the same time. And then you also bring a Devin Lloyd, and now you're bringing 5 guys that are like literally all sub 4.5, and like that's really hard to defend. Like there's no O line that's built for that. So the big problem is the screen. So here, listen. I would love to call plays someday in the NFL. If I'm running out an offense and I see Arden Key, Josh Allen, Devin Lloyd looking like he's gonna blitz, Dwan Smoot, Clavon, all these guys lined up on the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna call a screen. And the Jags obviously had problems countering screens. And listen, I'm not gonna say anything bad about Mia O'Brien because she asked good questions. She beefs with YouTubers, with Jags YouTubers. I don't know why. I don't know if she's like intimidated by Jags YouTubers or she's like, toting the company line or, championing the local radio station. Whatever, I'll forgive her for like hating on YouTubers, but she does ask good questions. It's hard for me to dislike someone that asks good questions. And she legit asked Mike Caldwell, how are you going to counter the screens? Because honestly, there's a problem with screens. This is what Mike Caldwell had to say about that.
Situationally, understand when they happen, when they occur.
Sorry.
You just talk about it situationally, understand when they happen, when they occur, and then it's just effort getting to the ball. Somebody has to make a play, whether it's the defensive line or the guys in coverage, buying time for the defensive line to retrace. But that's a focus that we'll work on, and we'll get better at it.
All right, so a focus we're going to work on and we're going to get better at it. I mean, I like it. I've heard that before, is all I'm saying. The problem is again, I talked about it in the video. It wasn't necessarily that our players didn't react well, and I think this is why Mike Caldwell. I mean, if you notice, that was not a very long. That was a 19-second response. That was quick, and I think the reason why it was so quick, it was because he got caught with his pants down, blitzing 5 and 6 and sometimes 7 when the Raiders called a screen, and that's on Mike Caldwell. Like. He mentioned it in one of the first videos I showed of him earlier in this show. He said that we had, he said right out of the gate, we didn't have a game plan. We had no film. I think that was his way of kind of like early scapegoating himself in film for saying like why he got caught blitzing on screens. I mean, he got caught. McDaniels caught him. Look, one of the things we talked about as far as like top things to watch in this game was Josh McDaniels' offense versus Mike Caldwell's defense. And Josh McDaniels caught Mike Caldwell in blitzes probably 5 out of 5 times. You can't. Todd Bowles was known. That's who Mike Caldwell came up under. Todd Bowles was known for just blitzing the crap out of people, which is good. But when you play a team that's expecting it and throwing screens, you got to be ready for that. And to be fair, Mike Caldwell's linebackers were Shaq Quarterman and Chad Muma, and those guys aren't necessarily like veterans that are sniffing out screens immediately. So you kind of have to give him a little concession there. But to be fair, McDaniels outcoached him. That's the bottom line. But it was his first game ever calling a defense, so you can't really be mad at him. And it didn't count, so you really can't be mad at him. Timmy Devil 999 said, you missed my comment too many times to retype. Timmy, listen, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize, Timmy. You know that I love you. And if I see your comment, I will definitely read it next time, okay? So try again, and I will do my best. Ben Haney, another great commenter, says, was watching the lineman training camp clip today. I'm concerned with our O-line with the exception of Cam. Everyone else was getting ran over. Now, there's definitely something to be said for the offensive line. I mean, that going into the draft, a large percent of us Jags fans wanted to go Evan Neal, myself included. I hate to say that, but I wanted to solidify only because, again, I'll harp on that. I want Trevor. This team goes as Trevor goes. So I know Trevon Walker is going to help the team. I love Trevon Walker. After seeing what he did, like I'm a huge fan now. But, getting a tackle would have really helped Trevor, and that's what I'm all about, is helping Trevor. So, good question. But a good thing though is at least like Trevor Lawrence is kind of feeling like he's getting more command of the offense. And I think as Trevor Lawrence gets command of the offense, like you'll see like the pre-snap adjustments and things like that kind of go our way. Trevor Lawrence was actually asked, how he feels as far as he's commanding the offense. So this is what Trevor had to say about that.
You learned 2 different offenses over the last 2 years.
No, I think I'm definitely ahead of where I was last year. I'd hope so. I think that's the goal. I think just obviously learning the offense last year helped me learn this one faster. Once you learn one, it's easier to learn the second one. And then just having guys like we talked about that are really smart, that are easy. You can make a check and they pick it up right away. I think the guys have done a great job with that. So that's been a lot of fun, and it's just we're building and building on all the different things that we can do, because when you got guys that know it, whatever you call they know it, you can really do anything. So it's been fun.
So again, another comment about his offensive line being smart, and I'm okay with that. Like if we're gonna give them credit for being smart, listen, I think I know who he's talking about in these situations. You got guys like Sheriff and Fortner, Cam, who's played. Barch. I think Barch is a smart guy. I think T-Shat 69, Tyler Shalley's a smart guy. I think we're going to be okay. So I get it. The offensive line isn't where we would want it to be, because when it comes to like just being like the all-around unit, when you look at teams like Tennessee, who dominated with the offensive line, St. Louis, look at my age, LA, who had a good offensive line and things like that. Yeah, we'd like to be there, but listen, we've picked back-to-back first the last 2 years. You can't get too caught up on that. Timmy Devil 999 says in the comments, Shaq Quarterman may get pushed out by Chappie, and then he retracted it. I'm out here looking for Timmy Devil's comments. He types them and then retracts them. Look, too bad, Timmy. Chappie Russell, yeah, I know. I'm with you there. Andrew says, love the page. Keep it up, bro. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. Set in Cisco, another great commenter, says, do you think any other starters on offense are out there on Friday? So I played the clip from Trevor, and he basically just said that, like, he doesn't know. Like, so obviously they've said nothing. I expect to hear some news here in the next couple days on who's going to play. Obviously the guys who are those tweener injured guys aren't going to play. But I hope that we get some. I mean, we still have 3 preseason games, bro. Like, dang, dude. We have a lot of time for the season starts. Hall of Fame game is such trash. DJM, how much trouble would you get in if you snuck in these press conferences and asked your own question? I'd ask. Okay, so again, this is why I thought. Listen, I'll talk up Mia O'Brien. Like, she craps on YouTube, but she asks good questions. That would be me, and they wouldn't let me ask one question because I would just go. I would go so off the radar, bro. I'd be asking the most like random. I'd be asking about like I'd be asking about their like college degrees and like certain professors. I would have I do something. Listen. Here's the type of guy that I am. Okay, just to paint y'all a picture, and I know you guys. I feel like I know a lot of you really well, and I feel like you guys know me really well. But let me just give you a little more insight on the type of person I am. So we have a AAA baseball team here in Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Okay, they used to be AA, now they're AAA. It doesn't matter. So like I was the guy in my younger college days that would go sit in the outfield, look up these minor league players and look up just extremely personal information about these minor league players, and then just like heckle them on personal information. But you know what I found is those people actually had like the best responses. They loved it. They would come up and talk to me, throw me baseballs because they were like, dang, this dude like put in the time. I don't know if the NFL is exactly comparable to AAA baseball, but that's the type of guy that I am. There's a little insight on me. DJM, I don't know, drive to the high school. Okay. Brandon Waters, who am I going to see on the slab Friday night, baby? Okay, so dude, my freaking work scheduled a work event on Friday night. They did not check the Jags schedule. So I told them that I would like be there for a tad, and then I'd be down to the game on time. So I'm unfortunately not going to be able to take part in the preseason tailgate activities. But this is just for this game. It's a Friday night, and my whatever, my work didn't think it through. I do have to make money. So I will be at the game on time. So Brandon, hit me up. Let's get a freaking drink in the Bud Zone. Okay, I know the Bud Zone's not the greatest for the view, but it's preseason. Third, fourth quarter, we don't need a view anyways. Captain Full Po Fishing says tight end room is above average. Okay. Was there a question? I think there's a question about the tight ends here. Let's see here. Let's see. How can we twist this? Okay, we can twist it this way. Trevor Lawrence on why he feels he's throwing a good ball. We could connect those dots to a tight end somehow, right? Let's figure it out. This is why Trevor Lawrence is throwing a good ball right now.
Well, I think compared to last year, I had a full off season to really work on what I think I needed to work on. Last year, finish your college season, had surgery. I'm out for a while, can't really train, and then it's prepping for the draft and all that stuff, and just a lot of stuff going on. Didn't feel like I could really get my body in shape the way I wanted to because of the surgery. I mean, I was in shape, but as far as my arm, I would have liked to be a little sharper. I feel like my arm got a lot stronger this offseason. And then just mechanics, I worked really hard on keeping everything tighter, more fluid in my motion, working on all my arm slots, all that. I just feel like the ball's coming out really from every angle the way I want it to. Obviously, you're going to miss a few every now and then, but feel the best that I felt.
Do you think you're
So Trevor obviously feels like he's throwing the ball better. Now he just needs people that can catch the ball. Obviously, last year it was an insanely poor group of pass catchers as far as like literally catching the ball. So the tight end room, you have Evan Ingram and Dan Arnold, who Dan Arnold we all know is extremely underrated. Evan Ingram, here's the thing though, I think Evan Ingram we might as Jags fans be like overrating Evan Ingram. So I don't know. I just think that maybe it'll be a situation where tight end 1 is overrated, but tight end 2 is underrated. So maybe that combines for a good tight end room. I'm a huge fan of Luke Farrell. I think Luke Farrell will be a good player. And you have Chris Manhertz, who is a great run blocker. So, yeah, I think you're right. Listen, we're not ending the show now, but I do need to take a quick bathroom break. Okay, I've been hitting the refreshments a little hard tonight. Okay, so give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, and we'll continue the conversation. All right, and we're back. My bad, guys. It's been 46 minutes in. I didn't want to end the show now, but so I had to, a little pause break. Appreciate you guys that are still here and that are still in the chat. This has been a great show. I have not been able to keep up with the comments, and I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I do want to apologize for not keeping up with the comments because I kind of pride myself on trying to get every comment read, but we're just reaching a point where I can't anymore, which is good, but also bad, if you know what I mean. So I'm sorry. I apologize. Remember, if you joined the show maybe like 10 to 15 minutes in or after, make sure that you watch the show tomorrow night at 7. I know it's a little earlier than usual. We usually do shows at 9 p.m. because that's kind of my wheelhouse. But tomorrow night at 7, I have like an actual Jags media member coming on. So you're going to want to be a part of that show because, first of all, I've never been in like a real environment with a Jags media person. I'm just a fan, so it'll be good to see how I actually act. And maybe I don't know. Two, you know me, I'm just gonna ask like real questions to a person. And then three, you guys, come on, we're all fans together. Yeah, I know you guys want to support. So 7 p.m. Go ahead and set your alarm right now. You can talk to Siri and set your own alarm. If you're watching the show after the fact, like our UK friends, I don't know what time 7 p.m. would be for you, but maybe it's more reasonable. I don't know. I appreciate you guys there in the comments. I really do. Gerald, come on. How do you know? What? Gerald, I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. You're either a witch or you got some inside info. I don't know what's going on there. Shay J, I know you covered Cisco, but who do you think will improve more this year? No, and he goes on to say, no energy drinks before the show. Okay, so I have to admit, I mean, I love Celsius energy drinks, but that's not what I consumed before the show tonight. Who do I think will be the most improved? So I really think Clavon is going to take a huge step. Now, I'm not necessarily saying he's going to be the guy that's most like influential or like, statistically going to put up the most points, but I just think that like I don't know, man. I got this weird feeling about Clavon. Like I've been doing film breakdowns for a while. You can go back into my YouTube channel history. You can scroll all the way back years and years to see my Clavon Chazon breakdown. I broke down his film at LSU. I encourage you guys to go watch it because one of the things I talked about was that even the way that he got his scholarship offer from LSU, the way he performed at LSU is he's a late bloomer. Like, he's not really a football player. He's an athlete. Like, you saw the spin. Did you see the spin today that he did? Was it on Walker Little? I mean, the dude's an athlete. Like, he was offered a scholarship at an LSU camp when he was in high school, not based on like his football acumen, but on his ability to like be an athlete. He like went on a whim with his buddy. So he's going to be a late developer. And I think that's what's going to happen there. Someone who's not a late developer is Christian Kirk. Oh, you saw this transition, boys. Christian Kirk is not a late developer. And Trevor Lawrence had a little bit. He was asked about how he feels about playing with Christian Kirk. So here's what he had to say.
Yeah, Christian's been great to work with. Like we talked about, just really savvy route running, but also really smart. Recognizes coverages quickly. Really good at adjusting his routes, finding the open voids. And then obviously he's a great matchup for us with his speed and route running ability. I think he's just, that's a mismatch on most people. So it's been great, and he's gonna have a big impact this year for sure.
All right, thanks, Trevor.
Awesome. Thank you all.
So, I mean, listen, no one's going to say anything like controversial in these press conferences. So, it's something to be said for, a guy that talks as highly as Trevor does. Listen, I'm Team Trevor. You guys know this. If he likes Christian Kirk, the bottom line is like we weren't going to do any better than Christian Kirk in free agency. And people don't like to hear that. Like people all offseason, and me included, like, Allen Robinson, Amari Cooper, but realistically, those guys weren't coming to our team. So the best person realistically we could get is Christian Kirk, and we had to overpay for him. So I'm okay with it. All the naysayers that like Christian Kirk's overpaid, it's the Jags, bro. Like, we're not gonna get a guy like that. Jeremy Ingles, $10 through Super Chat. Jeremy, I just seriously want to thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Every time I get a donation, my heart skips a beat because, like, I'm a Jags fan just like you guys. Nothing qualifies me more. I almost cursed there. There's kids watching the channel, so I spend a crap ton of time watching film, but it's because I love it. It's not because I'm like any better than any of y'all. So Jeremy Ingles, $10. He says, "Thank you for doing what you do. Glad I made a live show." Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Besides donating to the channel, where all money goes back to the channel, I'm actually setting up a shop where people can buy shirts. Again, like I'm gonna set them the lowest price possible because I just want people to get shirts. But besides that, the best thing you can do is just like tell another Jags fan about the channel. I mean, that's literally how we've grown as grassroots, like word of mouth. Like so, if you can tell another Jags fan about that, like that would be awesome, and I really appreciate it. Philip Butcher with a $5. Oh gosh, man! Like you guys, thank you, Philip. Philip's been a supporter of the channel for a long time. You guys always do this to me, man. You guys throw me off at the end of the show, and I appreciate it. But like, oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jeremy. You guys are awesome. You know, I literally appreciate the donations. I would do this without the donations. I really would. Thank you, Philip, who's a channel member. He says, my dude, thank you. Means a lot to me. It really does. Brandon Waters says, hope his ankle is okay. I mean, everyone said it's going to be fine. I mean, he didn't have to go to a medical tent. That's all I heard on local radio is he didn't go to the medical tent. Like, that's some sort of, like, threshold for, like, serious injury and not is, like, did he go to the medical tent? Which I get, but, like, I don't know. Tallahassee says, Kirk isn't overpaid anymore, really, with all the contracts paid out. We got to, yeah, after the contracts kind of went out to all the other receivers, when you look at what other receivers got paid, dude, come on, guys. $5 from Jesus King. Jesus King is like is a big supporter of the channel. I really appreciate that. Jesus King, you're awesome. Listen, I appreciate it. He says, Jeremy, you started a chain reaction. Oh, God, no. This happened last time, and you guys got me all, like, fumbled and stuff. Man, I'm not professional enough. This is why I couldn't handle a press conference. I couldn't handle a press conference for the Jags because I'm not professional enough to handle this sort of attention. I'm a troll at heart that just kind of stumbled upon a YouTube channel. So I appreciate it, Jesus King. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're super awesome. Volk Fang says, you do a great job explaining football. Oh, thank you. I took a 6-year break from watching any football. Bro, you guys got to stop. You guys have to stop. Munchlax, $10. Guys, I can't handle this sort of attention. I appreciate it, Munch. Thank you. $10, bro. God, that's a lot of money. To me, it's a lot of money. Thank you so much. Munch, Jesus King, Philip, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Jeremy, I had to literally scroll up. Yeah. Thank you guys, bro. Thank you. Volkfang, he says he took a 6-year break from watching any football from 2011 2017, and you've definitely increased my understanding of the game. So I appreciate it, man. I do kind of like love breaking down like film in layman's terms because coaches kind of have this like sort of thing where they like, you know, they like to use coaching jargon, and no one can understand them but other coaches. So I like to kind of break it down. It makes it fun. It makes it fun for me and everyone else. Said in Cisco, how many wins do you think makes this season a success or move in the right direction? That's a good question, Sedin. I think we need to be at 6 to be looked at as a success, and I think we need to be looked at as like 8 as like stoked. So whether it's 6 or 8, I'd prefer to be in that 8 category, but I don't think any Jags fan would be disappointed if we had 6 wins. You know, I really don't. Tallahassee with the $5 through Super Chat. Thank you guys. I appreciate that, man. I really, like, I literally can't tell you how humbled I am. Philip Butcher is a channel. Y'all gotta stop, Shay. Shay with $5 through Super Chat. I appreciate it, man. Golly, man. I'm trying to talk Jags here, guys. I'm thank you. Guys, come on, bro. God of Chair with a $2 through Super Chat. Thank you. Tallahassee said, why not? Shay J said, keep it rolling. See you Friday. Shay. Jesus King with $5, bro. Like, I'm definitely gonna be clipping this. I'm clipping this whole last 5 minutes and putting it on my Instagram. So make sure you're watching that. I have to give y'all credit, man. Like, thank you guys. I know like $5 and $2 and $10 isn't a lot to like some of you guys, but for someone like me that's literally doing this for fun, It literally means a lot to me. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Jesus King says, "We got you. We are united." LOL. But that was my goal, is to get Jag. Listen, Jesus King brings up a good point. The toxicity of Jags Twitter and the lack of fan interaction. Jonas Gesner, who I know should not be donating $5 because I know Jonas Gesner is a student at FSU. Okay, so come on now. I don't know if he's full-fledged null right now. I guess he is. I know he took summer classes, and oh man, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I have no words, guys. I appreciate this. I really do. Thank you guys. Thank you all of you guys. I can't even give you guys a proper shout out because it just came as like a chain. So I appreciate everyone. God of Chair, Jesus is King, Jonas, Shay, Tallahassee, Munchlax, Jesus is King, Philip Butcher. Bro, you guys got to stop. All right, you guys have to stop now. I have clips loaded up. We're not going to be able to watch any of the press conference if you guys keep donating. Thank you, Philip Butcher. Thank you guys. And you guys aren't even commenting. You're just giving money without any comments. Oh, God. Jeremy Ingles. Hell yeah, man. You provide Jags analysis far beyond what anyone else wants us doing. We appreciate you. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. I'm going to keep doing it. For those of you that know, I did a podcast with like some buddies and we just talked Jags because, you know, I love football. And so I've been doing this for a while. And when all of my buddies dropped out because they couldn't commit to doing podcasts, you know, we ended up just me and I have to give shout out to UCF Jaguar. Watching him do stuff on YouTube made me kind of be like, and that's cool. Like, I like that. Like, that's something that I feel like I could also reproduce and kind of put my own spin on. So shout out to him. He was really good about me and him have become friends over the years where he like gave me advice on like what he should do. Another shout out to my brother, older brother, gave me, he hooked me up with my entire setup here that I have. So I have a lot of people to thank. Really, I'm just, you know, the conduit for other Jags fans. Thank you guys for donating. It really does mean a lot to me. DJ M says, everyone's donating. Y'all are the GOATs. Everyone donating in today's stream is a W for the Jags season. So far, 10-7. I love it. Lonesome Not I, who's a great commenter, says cheers. Oh, I appreciate it. Okay, so I think our train's come to an end, so which is good. So let's get another clip here. How about on Chad Muma and Shaq Quarterman? Okay, because we talked a lot about Chad Muma and Shaq Quarterman, and Mike Caldwell talked about that. So let's take a look at what he had to say there about those two guys.
Just some young guys out there flying around. You know, it's tough when you're playing special teams. You're working your way into shape. I thought those two guys did a good job of handling the defense, making the plays that presented themselves to them, and then just as an overall group, just getting better.
Did you think the physicality?
All right, so super short video. I wasn't even ready for that short video, but yeah. So you heard what he said. Young guys flying around the field. Again, another thing that we want to look at. Sed and Cisco says these streams are sick already, but imagine once we start winning, how much better they're going to be. So me and UCF Jaguar, I guess the proper like English would be UCF Jaguar and I. We always talk about how like we've been grinding through the down years. So like when we're good, you're gonna see like, you know, a lot of people pop up. Like even at the beginning of the year, you see all sort of podcasts and like YouTubers. Which listen, I'm not discouraging any people at all. I have an open door policy. Anyone that ever wants to get into YouTubing, I get probably, I'm not kidding with y'all, I get probably 2 to 3 messages a month about like from potential Jags YouTubers that want to get into the industry, and I'm like, yo, hit me up, like let's do it. So you're gonna see a content rise here at the beginning of the season. It just drops out. And, you know, the last couple of years, by September, October, we're already looking at the number 1 pick. You're right, though. If we're ever good, I'm going to be championing the parade through downtown if we win a Super Bowl. Captain Full Po Fishing says, who's the guy in the background? It's my little brother. My little brother lives with me. I love it. I you know, every day that he's here, I take full advantage of. I'm blessed to have, you know, family in my life. He lives with me, and it's awesome. I love every single day of it. He's a genius. Love that he's here for sure. Richmond Marooter says, my baby was just freaking out crying, so I had to pause the stream for a second, and I turned it back on, and she stopped crying and just started watching. I think she's a fan. Richmond, bro, I'm telling you, the fact that you're raising a baby right now, I have so much respect for you. I know what that's like, not like personally, but just so you know, anecdotally, I guess, from other friends. But like, respect to you, bro. Raising a kid is hard. We need more offspring in this world raised by good parents, so I know you're doing a good thing. Philip Butcher, LOL, hell yeah, Rich starting early. I like it. Brenneman says, will J-Rob's injury affect his performance at the beginning of the season, or will it be 100%? So, Brenneman, I hate to be this guy. We just had one of the greatest moments as me as a YouTuber in my life in the last 10 minutes, and I'm about to be a Debbie Downer, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be 100% ever again. Running backs have such a short shelf life. There's a reason why a guy like James Robinson, undrafted, was even able to be like a star. It's because the running back position is so volatile. I mean, it's up and down, and like an injury like that sets you back. Now, you see guys recover. I mean, Alvin Kamara came back from an injury. Adrian Peterson came back from an injury. I mean, ETN, we're expecting it happens. It's so hard, man, at that position. But we're all hoping. We really are. Lonesome Not I. Well, that's what I want from the linebackers. So I missed your last one, Lonesome. It's been a while. He said cheer. Okay, maybe. Gerald, why aren't field goal kickers a bigger priority in the draft? So many games are decided by a kick. That's a good question, Gerald. That really is. Like, I mean, you see it sometimes. Like Janikowski was a first-round pick. You see it happen. I mean, the Jags. Remember when they drafted Adam Podlish? Was it the third round? Was it Podlish or Anger? One of the guys. Some teams do prioritize it, but I guess the thinking is that you can find a comparable kicker as an undrafted free agent. I'm just spitballing here. I guess that's probably the thinking. Similar to the right tackle. I don't know. Ben Haney, 2017 was a renaissance in Jags YouTube. Good, Ben, good. I'm glad because that's kind of when I know I was in podcasting then. I didn't get into YouTube until like 2019 when all the people I did the YouTube with. Dude, podcasting's hard, bro. Like, I have tremendous respect for podcasters. Like, what it takes to get a group of people together at the same time every week, think about what that would take from you. Like, what's something that you do every single week at the same time? Like, probably nothing. Like, maybe you can think of one thing, but now add, like, a podcast to that. And, like, yeah, the excitement's there at the beginning, but podcasts are incredibly hard to monetize. I mean, insanely hard. I mean, we were able to make a little bit of money podcasting, but it's only because, like, we were more consistent than most people are willing to be. YouTube is just so much easier. You just have to be willing to talk to commenters, which I have no problem with. But it's hard. It's hard. Seth and Cisco says that Super Bowl parade in downtown would be sick. Although the downtown in Jacksonville is kind of sucks. I live out at the beach. I was born and raised at the beach, actually. I would definitely be. I'd be in the front. I don't care. I'm surprised Tony Baselli didn't mention me in the Hall of Fame speech. I can't say that with a straight face. So glad Tony got in. I love Tony. I love Tony and his family. Lonesome Not I. If we can get anything close to what Kelvin was for us, I'll be pumped. Kelvin. Did you mean Telvin? I'm looking at my keyboard right now. Kelvin. I don't. You have to clarify that, Lonesome. DJM. Your bro kind of looks like Dan Arnold. You know who he really looks like? Andrew Luck. He's a spitting image of Andrew Luck. Spitting image. He's got that his entire life. Angler. I don't know what's going on. Lonesome Not I. Tell your little bro to work on that posture. Bro, he's deep in Team Fortress 2 right now. Which leads me to my listen, dude, I'm on a roll with transitions. If you're into like video games, some people are, some people aren't. I do have a Twitch channel, which I like to be on sometimes. So it's Jags_United. I'm on there once in a while. If any of you guys are trying to run some I don't know, COD or whatever, hit me up. I'll be down. Listen. I think an hour 6 is good for definitely this show. I thought it was gonna be short. Dude, I appreciate you guys being here. Listen, I have so many people to thank. Kelvin Taylor. Okay, I got you, Lonesome. Is he a Jags fan? DJ, of course he's a Jags fan. Of course he's a Jags fan. I used to read elect meters back in the Coughlin Baselli days. They lived across the street from each other. I won't say where. If you're at the beach, No, I mean, Baselli was in like Ponte Vedra when I knew him. Volk thinks I highly recommend the Twitch channel. I might jump on here later. I always say that, and I don't know what happens. I don't know. I've been kind of bored with like games right now. Like I'm kind of been into Rust the last couple months. I don't know if you guys might be over your head. You guys might be like clicking off now. Rust. I've been into this like Overwatch lately. The Overwatch 2 is coming out. I don't know. Like I'm just like I grew up a gamer. You know, my dad introduced me when I was young, so that's where I was at. But you know, I'm definitely glad that you guys were here. I mean, this was one of my. Listen, this show will go down in my memories as like the best show ever. So listen, thank you guys so much. Everyone that donated, I have to literally give you guys all a shout out. Like you guys were awesome. Philip Butcher, Jonas Gesner, Jonas, come on, go to bed. Jesus is King, God of Chair, Shay J, Tallahassee, Munch Lax. Jesus is King again. He gave 5 earlier, and now another 10. Thank you, Jesus King. I really do appreciate that. Philip Butcher, Jeremy Ingles, all you guys, bro. Like I seriously appreciate it. He says, I hope to see a show with you, UCF, Jordan, DeLugo, and Lori Fitzpatrick. All right, Jesus King, since you gave $10 for that super chat, you have my word. I will attempt to get that together. Okay, by next week, I will try to put that together. I will use the money you've donated to pay them to be on the show because that's how much I appreciate you. I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys. Gary K says, smash those thumbs. Y'all do it, dude. Smash the like button. Dude, get a Switch. I'll play Mario Kart. Yeah, okay, now we're talking. I'm more of a Mario Kart type of guy, but that's an off the air conversation. Seriously, guys, thank you so much. I have no words, man. Again, if you guys were part of this show, it's one of my favorite shows I've ever done in my entire life, and it was kind of one that I thought was going to go bad because it was just I had no content besides Jags press conferences. So I'm humbled by you guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you're watching tomorrow night at 7. Show Jordan. Jordan DeLugo is going to be on. Okay, someone already ruined it. I'm going to have Jordan DeLugo from Gen Jag on. He's going to be on. Show him some love at 7 o'clock. Like he's coming on the channel. Like that's a lot of validation for me because I'm just a Jags fan. So I think that's super cool. I'm super excited. You guys are awesome, man. I really owe everything to you guys. I say this all the time. Hope they do it for free. Just kidding. I say this all the time, and listen, it's heavy for some of you guys, especially some of you younger guys. But I seriously love all of you guys. I really do. My heart is full. I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, so I appreciate it. Make sure to follow the show tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We'll be on with Jordan Lugo from Gen Jag. Make sure to follow the Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that stuff. And, you know, if you're going to the game, again, if you're going to the game on Friday, hit me up on Twitter. We'll meet up and we'll get a drink in the Bud Zone. If you don't like the Bud Zone, that's fine. We'll meet somewhere else. But drink on me. Listen, I'm all about that life. I love the community. I love the Jazz community. Shane Watson says, love your vids. You're the best. Thank you, Shane. Duval Tobidai says, Duval. Hey, love you, bro. Bro, the love's all there for you guys. Appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow night. So if you're not there, I'm going to be mad at you, all of you, okay? As always, TJM.